Hello, hi, and welcome. Today we are going to do 5054/12. This is physics paper 1 for the Cambridge uh, GCE O levels. Okay, we will start right off with our first MCQ, and the question says that a force of 3 Newton and force of 4 Newton acts on an object. What is the maximum possible resultant of these two forces? So simple is that saying that whenever there are two parallel forces, so over here the forces are parallel. Forces are parallel, so you can simply add them. So that's going to be 3 plus 4, which is equals to 7 newtons. So the answer would be C. Easy. A length of a copper wire is labeled length is 0.50 meters and the diameter is that. Which instrument are most suitable to measure accurately the length and the diameter? So for the length, this is what, half of a meter, and this is going to be option B, because meter rule, you can easily measure this half of the meter from the meter rule, and obviously for measuring the diameter accurately, you guys can use the micrometer screw gauge or a gauge. Okay, the graph shows the speed time graph for a parachute who jumps from a plane but does not open his parachute. At which point does he open the parachute? So again, the option is straightforward B, because at this time you see this thing on y-axis is speed, so speed is getting decreased, so speed is decreasing at this point. So this is the point when he is going to open the parachute. A 60 kg passenger enters the stationary lift. The gravitational field strength G is 10 newtons per kg. How much force does the floor of the lift exert on the passenger when the lift accelerates upward at 2 meter per second square? Okay, let me draw a figure so that we can understand what is this question is talking about. So this is a guy who is standing in the passenger. Okay, this is a passenger who has a mass of 60 kg, and his weight is acting downwards, and is it when lift accelerates upwards, so it is moving upwards, so there is another force which is acting upwards as well. So now what we are going to do is we need to find out this force. So how we are going to do is, first of all, we will find out the weight of this person, which is going to be W equals to mg, and that's going to be 60 times 10 is around 600 newtons. And then we are going to find out the force that needs to move this thing upward. So for this is, again, you will use the Newton's second law, F equals to ma times acceleration is this. So this is 120 newton. So add them together, 600 plus 120 newtons. So this, you will end up with this option. So basically it needs this much of force to move the lift upwards. Okay, there's another question. Okay, let me zoom it in. Okay, the diagram represents the moon is in orbit around the earth, which arrow represents the direction of the resultant force acting on the moon at the any at instant shown. Okay, again, whenever some object is moving in a circular path, obviously the resultant force will be acting towards the center. And if it is not moving in a circular path, so obviously, basically you need a force that tends the object to move in a circular path. So basically the A will be the resultant force that is allowing the moon to move in a circular path. So that's easy. So whenever any object is moving in a circular path, so just resultant force will be toward the center of the circle. Okay, now going to the next question. A measuring cylinder containing water is placed on a balance. A stone is placed into the water. The diagram shows the reading on the balance and on measuring cylinder. what is the density of the stone. Okay, now what you need to do is, you guys know this thing, that's easy question, density equals to mass over volume, but you need to find out the mass. In order to find out the mass, you have to subtract 92.5 grams minus 55, because that's the mass of the water in it. So what will be the volume? Volume will be again 35 minus 20. So now you take out your calculator. So I hope it's going to be 37.5 minus 15, which is around 2.5 grams per centimeter cube. So option C would be your answer for this. Okay, moving to the next question, and it states that the diagram shows a uniform solid rectangular block of weight 50 Newton that is pivoted above point P, and the height of the block is 40 centimeter. The base of the block is 8 centimeter wide. Which horizontal force uh, F just makes the block start to rotate around P? Okay, that's a question of moments, principle of moments we are going to apply. And you know this thing, this is the formula is F1 D1 equals to F times D. Okay, now this is basically clockwise moment equals to anti-clockwise moment. So now what we are going to do is, this is the center of mass, and the distance between this and this is like 50 newtons times 4. So I'll write 50 times 4 equals to F times 40. Okay, so this is the perpendicular distance, this is the force, and this is the perpendicular distance, making 90-degree. So now you have to solve this. 50 times 4 divided by 40, so it's going to be F. So 0 will be cancelled with 0, 4 will be cancelled with 4, so F is going to be 5 newtons. So this is your right option. Okay, moving to the next question. The center of the mass of a solid rectangular block is at center. A small heavy weight is available. In the which arrangement is the center of the mass lowest? So again, you see this thing. If I turn this keyboard in this direction, so it's going to be like this. Okay, but the problem will rise. Let at this point the center of gravity will be a center of mass will be high, it will be raised. But in this question it is saying the smallest heavy in which arrangement the center of mass is lowest. So in the direction with the y, which has more surface area. So when you tilt it like this, so it has the lowest center of mass at that point. Moving to the next question. Okay. Now the graph shows how the extension of the spring depends on the force applied. Which point is the limit of proportionality? Again, the point C is going to be the limit of proportionality, because after that the spring is going to be like bend is bend in such a way that it's not going to return its into its original position. So this is called as limit of proportionality. An elastic spring has has unstretched length of 30 centimeter. A load of 6 Newton is hung. Okay, let me do this thing. Whatever is given, I'll write it down. The original length would be 30 centimeter, and a load of 6 Newton is hung from the spring, and the length of the spring is, now the stretched spring is 66 centimeters. So the extension will be 66 minus 30, which is going to be 36 centimeter, and the load is 6 Newton. Now the load 6 Newton load is removed and the spring returns to its original limits, and a load of 2 Newton is hung. What is the new length of the spring? So what you have to do is, you need to find out the length, and I'll write at new length. Basically you need to find out this. Okay, now you see this thing, when you have a load and extension, when you have a load of 6 Newton, the extension was 36 centimeter. So when you have a load of 2 newton, what will be the extension? So you cross multiply this thing, and if you cross multiply this thing, this is going to be 6x equals to 36 times 2. So this is going to be 36 times 2 divided by 6 is going to be x, and 6 1 there, and 6 is going to be cancelled, so x is equals to 12 centimeter. Now the new length will be basically original length plus 12 centimeter, or you can say the extension. This is basically the extension, new extension at 2 newtons. So this is going to be 30 plus 12 is equals to 42 centimeters. So your answer will be C. Okay, let's move to the next question, and this question states that a barometer is an instrument used to measure atmospheric pressure. In one type of barometer, the height of the liquid in a tube is measured. In which diagram does the height h represents atmospheric pressure? Okay, now you see this thing. This is not your barometer. Okay, this is not your barometer because this end is open, and this is again now in the C and D, these two are barometers. Okay, so the only difference is this: when you have a test tube, so basically you fill it up completely, so there should not be any air in the barometer. So option D is your right answer in this case. That was a common sense question. Okay, a manometer contains mercury of density. The manometer is connected to a gas supply, and the difference in the height of the mercury level is 72 mm. The atmospheric pressure is 100 kilopascal. The gravitational field is this. What is the pressure of the gas supply? So again, this is a easy question. So now you see this thing: pressure of the gas equals to pressure of atmosphere, which is already given, plus the pressure of the liquid. So atmospheric pressure is what? 100 kilopascal. You need to convert kilo into 1000 pascal. Now you add up pressure in liquid. The formula for pressure in liquid is rho gh. Rho is density. So what is the density is 14,000. Value of g is 10, and height is what? 72 mm. So you need to divide that 72 mm into meters to get it the SI units. Okay, so now you solve this, so it will end up 10 to the power 5 plus 10080, and you will end up at 110080 pascal. So now you round it off, it becomes 110 kilopascal. So your answer will be C. Which device provides continuous steady energy output for the longest time? So again, if you talk about this thing, so it's going to end up it's finite thing. A wind generator depends upon the conditions, depends upon the air, depends upon conditions. So it's like it's not for the longest time. It is not available for the longest time. Solar panels are available in the daytime only, and the nuclear reactor is the one. So 13A is your right answer. Again, let's move to the next question, and next question states that a load is pulled by a rope attached to a motor. The resultant force exerted by the rope on the load is shown in the diagram. In each diagram, the load moves in the direction of the force shown and takes 10 seconds to travel 1 meter. In which diagram does the motor work with the greatest power? So basically, the question is, or the examiner is asking about the power thing. So power, the formula for power is equals to work done over time, or you can do energy over time, but over here we need work done. So F into D, that is force time distance divided by time. So what is the force is 12, distance is 1 meter, and divided by time is what? 10 seconds. So it's going to be 1.2 watts. This is for A. Similarly, you are going to do it for part B. So 8 times 1 divided by 10, which is going to be 0.8 watts. 10 times 1 divided by 10 is equals to 1 watts, and this is going to be 4 times 1 is the distance, 1 meter is the distance, and 10 is the time, so it's going to be 0.4 watts. So the answer would be A for greatest power. Okay, moving to the next question. The electrical energy supplied to a kettle is 6,000 kilojoules. One of this energy, 45 kilojoules is transferred to the surrounding and 15 kilojoules is used to heat the casing of the kettle. The remaining energy is used to heat the water. So what is the efficiency of the kettle? So now you need to find out the efficiency, and we know efficiency is the useful work over total input or total work. So over here, first of all, what we are going to do is we will check what is the input energy, and input energy will be 600 kilojoules, and this then there is a wasted energy, and that is going to be 45 kilojoules plus 15 kilojoules, that will end up at 16 kilojoules. And what will be the useful energy? So useful energy will be 600 minus 60, so it's going to be 540 kilojoules. Don't forget the units. Okay, so 540 divided by 600, because this the options are not given in percentage, so we don't need to multiply with 100, so it's going to be the 0.90. So option B is your right answer. How is heat energy transferred through vacuum of space from sun to the moon? So obviously, this is the transfer of heat process, and in the terms of electromagnetic waves, and the process is called as radiation. So this is again an easy question. Okay, now let's moving to the next question, and it states that a metal cube containing boiling water. Each vertical face of the cube is painted a different color or has a different texture. Identical thermometers are held at equal distance from each vertical face. Near which face does the thermometer read the greatest temperature? Okay, so this is going to be white color is the reflecting and shining color also reflects, and shining white again is so only this dull black color, which is a good emitter of infrared radiation. So this is going to be your answer for this question. Okay, a liquid column in a liquid in a glass thermometer is 2 centimeter long at 0 degrees Celsius. The column expands by 10 centimeter when heated at 100 degrees Celsius. Measuring from P how long is the liquid column. Okay, so now you have to use this thing. There is the formula for this. So I'll use this length for when the temperature is 0. It's going to be 2 centimeter. Length when the temperature is 100, so it's going to be 12 centimeter, and we need to find the length when temperature is 30 degrees Celsius. So the formula is over length of 100 minus length 0, and this is going to theta minus 0 over 100 minus 0. So length will be length of 30, just put the values inside this, minus 2 over that will be 12 minus 2 equals to 30 over 100. So this is going to be L 30 minus 2 over 10 equals to, this 0 will be cancelled, 3 over 10, this 10 will be cancelled with this, so L 30 is equals to 3 plus 2, which is 5 centimeters. So option C is your answer. Okay, now moving to the next question. Liquid in glass thermometer consists of a bulb containing a liquid which expands into a thin capillary tube. The liquid in the thermometer is replaced by same volume of different liquid that expands more in for the same temperature of rise. So the length of the capillary tube remains the same. This is what he is telling you. How does the new thermometer compare with the old? It has the greatest sensitivity and range. This is fine, but this is not true, because when the sensitivity is greater, so the range get reduced. It has the greatest sensitivity but smaller range. This is true and this is true. It is the same sensitivity. Again, this is wrong, and same range. No, the range will be reduced. It has the same sensitivity. Okay, obviously when this is wrong, so this is also wrong. So this option, so option B is your right answer. Steam at 110 degrees Celsius condenses on a surface to form water droplets at 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, what happens after the steam come into contact with the surroundings? The molecules slow down and absorb energy from the surroundings. No, they do not absorb energy from they emit basically. This is wrong. The molecules slow down and emit energy to the surrounding. This feels like the right answer, but let me confirm. The molecule stays at the same speed. No, the speed is reduced because the temperature is when they emit energy. So obviously the speed is going to be reduced, and they do not absorb this energy as well. So this is again wrong. The molecule stays same speed now, and they emit energy. Yes, they do emit energy, but the speed is going to be reduced. So option B is your right answer. So I was right. Okay, 21. Which list shows the state of matter order of expansion from smallest to greater? So now you pay attention in the questions, because the examiner is quite going to ask you tricky questions. So now you see the expansion is from smallest to greater. So in the solids, it is like the smallest, then the liquids, and then the gases. Okay, which row describe the boiling and the evaporation of a liquid? Okay, boiling is bubbles forms throughout the liquid. Yes, it does, but only occurs at one temperature. Now that will be the boiling thing. So evaporation does not do that. Occurs at bubbles throughout the liquid, produces cooling. Yes, occurs at any temperature. No, it is on fixed temperature. So this is also wrong. Only occurs at one temperature. Again wrong. Produces cooling. Yes, it does. So option B is your right answer, because both options are correct at this point. Moving to the next question, and it's going to be: a hair dryer is used to blow air across the surface of a water in a beaker so that the water evaporates. What increases the rate of evaporation of the water? So you must be knowing this thing, that evaporation and the factors affecting evaporation. So if you know that topic, so you would be easily answering this question. What increases the rate of evaporation? What increases the rate? The decrease in the speed of air from the hand? No, this is not true. Decreasing the mass of the water? No, we haven't studied this. Increasing the surface area of the water by using a wider speaker? Yes, if you increase the surface area, so obviously the evaporation will increase. Increasing the volume of the? No. So option C is your right answer. Okay, coming to the next question. The diagram shows a ray PQ reflected by a mirror X to a parallel mirror Y. The reflected ray along the RS is parallel to PQ. Which statement is correct? Okay, so now you see the angle between PQ and QR is 45. PQ and QR is 45. No, it's 90 degrees. This is wrong. Okay, the angle between QR and RS is 180. Again, this is QR and RS is 180. So this is also wrong. The angle of incidence of PQ on mirror X is 60. The angle of incidence. Okay, if I draw, I'll change the color. If I draw normal over here, so you see this is your angle of incidence. This angle, the one which I'm shading, is angle of incidence. So now you see this is 45. So obviously this is going to be 45. So for reflection, it is also the angle of incident is equals to angle of reflection. So in this case, this is again wrong. This is not 60 degree. So obviously when three options are not right or they are false, so the option D is your right answer. The angle of incident of QR of mirror Y is 45. So this is basically true. Moving to the next question. Okay. An object is viewed. Okay, an object is viewed through a thin converging lens. The diagram shows the path of two rays from top to or top of the objects to an eye, and how does the image compare with this object. So I have told my students that whenever an object is inside the focal length, so the object will be drawn here. If we pass the ray from the optical center and it goes like this, so it's going to be upright and it's going to be a larger image. It's not going to be inverted. This is wrong. This is true. It's not going to be smaller. It is, and not this. It's smaller upright. Yes. So obviously you see this is a common sense thing. So whenever you are solving a question, you just after reading the question, you definitely are going to cancel two options, and after canceling two options, what you are going to do is you use your common sense and the knowledge to find out the right answer. And this is what I did in question number 25. Obviously I've been doing this in all of those questions, but you might it might be going to help you a lot. Okay, now let's see. Let's do this thing again. Violets and indigos lights have shortest wavelength in the spectrum of visible spectrum. Which three colors in order of increasing wavelength immediately follows this? So the rule is this: Roy, G, Bev. So they are asking about violet and indigo. So this is violet and this is indigo. So this is blue, green, and yellow. So let's see. Yellow, green, and blue. So this is your right answer. So if you go over there, so the wavelength is going to decrease and the frequency is going to increase in this if you travel from red to violet. Okay, moving to the next question. Next question states that a sound wave passes through a substance. The diagram shows the position of a molecules of a substance at a point in time. Okay, what type of wave is sound? So obviously, sound waves needs a medium to travel. So this is going to be right answer, either this one. And what is X? So now you see this thing. This is what compression, rarefaction, compression and rarefaction. This is again compression, rarefaction. So this is going to be compression. So let's check which one is the right one. So your answer will be A, because this is your right, but this is not right. Okay. So this is the right answer. A man stands between two tall buildings P and Q. He is 50 meters from P and 200 meters from Q. What do you need to find out? He sounds a horn. He hears the first echo from the building P at 1 second later. So this is the lapse time. He hears the first echo from the building Q. What is the speed of sound calculated using this information? So first of all, we have to find out the distance. So the speed equals to distance over time. So distance would be what? The sound is going to travel in this way. So 200 is one way and it's going to be 400 minus 100 divided by the lapse time is 1. So it's going to be 300 meter per second. So option B is your right answer. Okay. What is one of the use of ultrasound? So now you have to tell the uses of ultrasound. So fluorescence tubes, no, they are not used in this. They are used in cleaning jewelry. Yes, this is a valid reason. Optical fibers, no. Sunburst, no. Oh, basically you have to put the jewelry into a liquid and then waves are generated into the liquid, and due to that those waves, the dust particles in the jewelry, they are moved away from this, or they are dislodged, or they are like separated out from those jewelry things. So this is how you do it for cleaning jewelry. Okay, a positively charged rod is held near an uncharged metal sphere as on an insulating strand, what is the distribution of charge on the sphere? Okay, now if you are doing this, so obviously what will happen? The negative will come over here, and the positive will be getting the force of repulsion at this point. So if you see the diagram, so this is not going to be a valid one. No, C and D. Yes, option C would be the one which I have drawn over here. Okay, now coming back to the next question. Two metal spheres are mounted on an insulating stand. Sphere X is initially uncharged and sphere Y is initially positively charged. A metal rod held by an insulating handle is placed in contact with X and Y as shown. So, what are the charges on X and Y after the rod is placed in contact with them? Okay, let's see this thing, how we are going to do this thing. Let's suppose this is X, this is Y. They are saying this is positively charged and this is what? Uncharged. So it means like this is neutral. Okay, so what you are going to do is when you place this conductor over here, so what will happen? These negative charges will feel more force of attraction due to this, so they will move into this. So they will turn into here. Okay, and now you see there is a more number of positive charges over here, and still there are more positive charges over here. So it will become what? Option A will be your right answer in this scenario. Okay, now let's move to the next question, and it says that the diagram shows a simple electric circuit. Which row describe the charge on electrons and the direction of electron flow through the resistor? So obviously from negative to positive it's going to be like this. So the answer will be the charge on electron is what? There's a common sense we have been studying, and since childhood is negative and direction of the electrons would be from y to x, so this is your right answer. Okay, now coming back to the next question. Okay, now the charge of 0.40 coulomb passes through a resistor in 1 second. In 2 seconds, 20 joules of thermal energy is produced in the resistor. What is the potential difference across the resistors? So first of all, we have to find out the electric current. I is equals to Q over T, and that is going to be Q is 0.40 divided by time is 1. So this is going to be 0.4 amps. This is basically for 1 second. So now we have to do it for 2 seconds. So for 2 seconds it's going to be you multiply 0.4 times 2 is equals to 0.8. This is uh, for 2 seconds. The charge will be for 2 seconds it's going to be 0.8 coulombs. It's basically Q equals to I times T. So we will get this thing. Okay, and the energy is what? 20 joules. Energy is 20 joules or joules, or whatever your pronunciation is, and time is 2 seconds. I have already mentioned that thing. So we know the potential difference is work done over unit positive charge. So work done is what? Energy is 20 joules and charge is 0.8, and this is going to be 25 volts. So there you go, your answer is C. The diagram shows a simple electric circuit which meter measure the current and resistor are. So obviously it's going to be a D1 because the ammeters are connected in series, and to find out the current in the uh, any device if it is connected in series. Okay, when the flash on a camera is used, a charge of 1.5 coulombs, Q equals to 1.5 coulombs, flows from T equals to 0.0030 seconds, flashes up. The average voltage across the flash lamp is 3600 volts. What is the electrical energy? So you will need to find out energy, electrical energy, and what is the average power. So energy is equals to VIT. So V is 3600, I is Q divided by 1.5 divided by T 0.0030, and then is again you multiply with time. Time is what? Time is again 0.0030. So if you do the calculations, you will end up at 5400 joules. And now this might be your answer or this. Now let's see what is your power. So power is energy over time. So you will end up 5400 divided by 0.003, and you will end up 1.8 into 10 to power 6 watts. So this is going to be option D is your right answer. So D will be, C will not be your answer. Okay, moving to the next question. The diagram shows electric circuit. Uh, which lamp lights when the switch S1 is closed? So you see this thing, this is your power supply, and when you close this thing, the path will be closed because this will be stays open. So no current will be passing through this. So this path is going to, so this is a closed circuit. So L1 and L2 will be only those lamps which are going to be switched on. Okay, now moving to the next question, and it states that the diagram shows a hair dryer. Which statement explain why the hair does not need an electric earth wire? It has a live wire. Now it has a neutral wire. Makes sense. It has a double insulation. The cable is insulated. The question is saying that why dryer does not need an electric wire, because it has a double insulation. That is basically it's made up of a plastic. So plastics cannot conduct electricity. God forbid if you get short circuit, so you won't get the electric shock because this is made up of plastic. So it has a double insulation. Okay, the left hand can be used to determine the direction of the force when the current carrying conductor is perpendicular to the magnetic field. Which quantities are represented by the direction of the fingers P, Q, R? So you guys can do these things. Is father, mother, and child. So father is like your force, M is for magnetic field, and C is for your current. So it's going to be father, mother, child, and this is going to be this one. Option D is going to be your right answer. Okay, moving to the next question, and it states that as the magnet is moved into a coil of wire as shown, there is a small positive reading on the sensitive ammeter. So obviously this is the Lenz's law question, and it says that which change must increase the size of reading. So moving the opposite pole now, pulling the magnet out in a coil, nope. Pushing the magnet faster seems to be right. Unwinding some of the turns, no. So this option C is going to be your right answer in this scenario. Electrical power is transmitted by cables over long distances at very high voltages. What are the effects of using high voltage transmission system? So in this case, this is going to be option D is your right answer, because when you increase the voltage by step up transformers, so that results in decrease of current. And finally what they do is they basically result in power losses which are going to be reduced in this scenario. So this is done. Thank you very much.